Let's talk about the if and else statements. Let's create a couple of variables first, a and b. If we would like to compare them, we write if. We use the if command, and within the brackets we do the test. So we would like to see if a is smaller than b. If this is true, we're going to do whatever is below the if statement. So the line below the if statement. I'm going to use console and write something to the screen. For example, true. So we have two variables. If a is smaller than b, we're going to write out true to the screen. So let's try this. It seems to work. Okay. It's very common to use the command else, because maybe you would like to do something if this is false, not only if it's true. So I'm going to write false if the test turns out to be false. So we have if and else, they go together. If a is smaller than b, we're going to do this line of code, write out true. If it's not true, if it's false, we're going to go to the else statement and do what's below the line below the else statement. And then we're going to write out false. So still, this is still true, so we're going to have true. Let's change the variables so that a is 5. Now this test is not true, and we're going to write out false. We have this operator, smaller than. We can also, of course, check if something is greater than. If a is greater than b. We have this operator, smaller than or equal to. And we have greater than or equal to. Maybe we would like to check if something is equal to. Then we have to write like this to make the distinction between a test. We're just comparing the variables a and b, and this is the way to assign a value to a variable. So we're gonna put the value 5 into the variable a. Here we're not gonna assign the value in b to the variable a, we're just gonna compare them. Then we need two equal signs. So if a equals b, we're gonna write out true, and then if it's false, we're gonna write out false. So let's try this. This is of course false. Let's change them so that they have the same value. Now we're gonna write out true because the test is true. Let's add two more variables. C equal 6, d equals 7. If we would like to do more than one test, we can add the AND operator. It looks like this. This means AND. So maybe we would like to see if A equals B and C is smaller than D. And in order for the whole statement to be true, we need every test to be true. This needs to be true and this needs to be true. If one of them are false or both are false, the whole statement is going to be false. And since A is not equal to B, the whole statement is going to be false. Let's change them into the same value. And now it's true because both tests are true. So let's see. we can use the OR statement, and this means OR the two lines, and it works like this. If this statement, or if this test or this test is true, then the whole statement is true. So we only need one to be true, or both can be true, and then the whole statement is true. But we only need one, at least one. And this is true because both are true. Let's make this into 3. Now the first test is going to be false, but the second one is still true, and therefore the whole statement is going to be true. So let's try this, and as we can see, it's still true. So let's change this into C is greater than D, and now both are false and the whole statement is false.